As you're making the journey down North Omak and losing elevation on this beautifully graded trail, you might want to pass the time by just admiring the ferns that are along the way. And there are probably 10 or 12 species just down through here. Well, one of my favorites, and I think one of the most beautiful of the ferns, is the maidenhair fern, Adiantum pedatum, scientific name. It is a beautiful fern with a dark purple making up the stems and these beautiful and delicate green leaf-like structures flowing out. This is just up. Of course, over the winter, this particular fern is deciduous, so it dies back. And another thing it does that's really interesting is this ferns have an alternation of generations lifestyle. And that means that over their life history, they alternate between a diploid sporophyte stage and a haploid gametophyte stage. Now, diploid means two sets of chromosomes, and every cell in my body is diploid except for the sperm cells. And the sperm cells are haploid. Now, every cell in this is diploid except for the spores that it makes. The end product of meiosis in an animal is a sperm or egg cell. The end product of meiosis in a plant is a spore. And the spore will make a gametophyte, and that word gametophyte, gamete and phyte, P-H-Y-T-E is Latin for plant, it's the gamete. So it'll make a sperm or egg, just not directly as a product of meiosis. Now, the place where that's done is in the source. And these have sori on the underside of the leaves, where the leaf at the edge of the plant just flaps over, and in that little groove right there is where meiosis occurs in a little structure called sporangia, and it's protected just by that flap of the leaf. What does the sori look like? A sori is just a collection of sporangia. Can be a key to identification of ferns. Now, this one's easy to identify because of its unique structure, in its beautiful display of petals. The architecture alone will key you right in. So this maidenhair fern is quite a beauty. Now, as you're going down, you're also going to see a number of other ferns. We don't have to go far. Right here is perhaps the most common fern you're going to see in your hiking in this part of the world, and this is a Christmas fern. And most of these leaves are up new for this year. It is evergreen, so it stays green over the winter, and those are the ones on the underside. And it puts its sori, look, it puts its sori on the tips of its leaves. Notice that the leaves suddenly become reduced, and all of a sudden, on the underside of those reduced leaf-like structures, you will find the sori. And that is where meiosis will occur. And all of these, now, they're not mature yet. They're just starting, but they will mature shortly. They will form gametophytes, the sperm will fertilize the egg, and a new Christmas plant will grow up. One of the things you can look for in identifying Christmas ferns, besides the reduction in the leaves and the fact that it's only, once cut, is that the little leaf, and we'll show this as a blow-up, looks a little bit like, with a little imagination, a Christmas stocking. So you put your little nail right there, and there's your Christmas stocking. So looking at the structure of this little leaflet, you should be able to identify Christmas fern as you're walking down. There are a number of other ferns along the way. At my feet right here are broad beech ferns. So keep yourself entertained as you're losing elevation by just enjoying all the many, many different kinds of leaves typical of this forest.